Here we go. And it looks like it's recording, yes? Yes, recording, yay. Okay. Okay, whoever just entered, it's like a nickname. I don't know who you are. I can't mark you present unless I know who you are. So just, you know who you are. Just send me a message and tell me your real name, and then I can mark you for present. Okay. Okay, here we go. So 1.3. Okay, so now you get to see my handwriting. So my handwriting isn't always the neatest. I'll try to do my best. You'll see. Adding, subtracting, whole numbers. This chapter, this section has a lot to it. It also has perimeter and bar graphs. They throw a whole bunch of stuff into one thing. So adding and subtracting whole numbers, perimeter, and bar graphs. Oh, one more thing. If anybody missed class, because I know some people just joined us, so they weren't here to join us on class last week. I have the recording in, if you go to modules, you'll see a section with recording. So you can look at the recordings and catch up. Okay, so let's look at numbers. So let's say I want to add 2 plus 5, and that's equal to 7. Okay, they have special names. This is an add-in, this is an add-in, and this is a sum. So you add two things, the things you're adding are called the add-in, and what you get at the end is a sum. So let's just practice a little bit of adding, and then we'll go to subtracting. Now, just like I talked earlier, I'm not going to assume that we all need to review this, so I'm just going to go a little bit on the slow side. So let's add 4, 1, 4, 2 plus 3, 2, 6, 3. Okay, when you add, you're going to add down. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 4 plus 6, that's 10. That means I put a 0 and I carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4, and 4 plus 3 is 7. Now, like we talked about last time, you can put the 7 comma, or you can do it out. Either or is fine. 2. 13,632 plus 41,506. And we're going to add this. 6 plus 2 is 8. 3 plus 0 is 3. 6 plus 5 is 11. So 1, whoops, sorry, I hit the wrong button. 6 plus 5 is 11, carry the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And 4 plus 1 is 5. This one you need your comma for the 55,000 part. And then let's try a big one. 1,098,008 plus 432,346. Okay, 8 plus 6 is 14. 4 plus 1 is 5. 3 plus 0 is just 3. 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 3 is 13. 4 plus 1 is 5. and the 1 comes down. Now this just reminds me, we're doing all this with a calculator. So my suggestion is to do all this without a calculator. And if you want to check your answer with a calculator, that's fine. But you should be doing all this without a calculator. Okay. Nothing wrong with checking your answer. That way it actually helps you know if you have it right or not. Hey, any questions so far? No? Okay. Awesome. I'm going to add a page. Okay, I have a couple more and then we'll move on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is number 4. Whoop, 4. 9,998 plus 12,342. Let me rewrite that for a minute. That 12 is not sitting. The biggest thing is make sure you line these up correctly. And that 12 was sitting under that 9, and I want to make sure it's over here so I can tell it's in a different column. 8 plus 2 is 10. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 4 is 14. 9 plus 1 is 10 again. Plus 3 is 13. 9 plus 1 is 10 again. Plus 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 22,340. All right, so sometimes they will give you adding in a different format, like the following. Some people are really good about adding across, and they can add 8 plus 4 and go on from there. I am not that person. I need to have it up and down. So if you are someone who can add across, feel free. I'm gonna rewrite it like number 4, the ones we were doing before, because I can't. Plus, here's something, it's a tip. See this number here? See how that's a bigger number? I'm gonna put that on top. It just visually it's easier. Not necessary, you could do it any order you want, but some students really like the bigger number on top. I do too. 8 plus 4 is 12. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 6 is 16. 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 3 is 12. 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 7 is 13. Carry the 1. 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 1 is 8. And 1, I just bring down the 1. And there's my answer, 183,262. Somebody has their microphone on. Just check your.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's all right. You have a question? You all right? Okay, awesome. Okay, one more. Okay, I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to have you guys do it on your new paper. And then I'll do it after, and then we'll see how you did. I like to do that a lot. Let you try one on your own, and then I'll show you what it is. Okay, I gave you like a minute to try it on your own. I'm going to do it, but don't look up till you have your answer. I'm going to do it in silence. Hey, whenever you're ready, look up, see how you did. Okay, this is a good place to stop and see if you have any questions. If you have a question, press your space bar and ask away. And again, for some of you, you probably, this is just basic, you're fine with it. Some of you just need to practice it. It's fine. We're all different places, but in the end of this class, we're all going to be in the same place. All right, questions, go on. Anybody questions? No? Okay. Okay, here we go. So of course with math, there's always special properties we have to talk about. And this is also same thing with adding. So, and subtracting. So there's something called commutative property of addition. Whoops, forgot the word property. I said it, but I didn't write it. Of addition. You might be using it now and didn't realize it. Basically, it says changing the order of two addends. So changing the order of the two things that you're adding does not change the sum. Example, 5 plus 6 is 11. So it's the same thing as 6 plus 5 is 11. It doesn't matter the order you add them to get the same answer. Why is that important? Because sometimes you can add numbers, this is all a personal thing, but sometimes you can add numbers better by changing the order a little bit. For instance, if I had, let me give you a good example. Let's see. Okay, let's find this. 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 5. Well, I could do it in order. It's not a real hard one. It's not long. It's not a big number. But my eyes go to here. 5 plus 5 is 10, right? And 6 plus 4 is 10. So I know the answer is 20. And how did that happen? Because I can redo the order. I know that's 10. I know that's 10. So the answer had to be 20. So sometimes just changing the order just makes it a little bit easier to add the problems.
Hey, Miss Garrett, can you give me a minute? Let me write all of this down.
Okay. So you probably use computer property when you add, you just don't even realize it. So when you have a list of numbers, if you're going out of order, you're using computer property. Am I going too fast? Are you guys all right?
No, ma'am. I was just finishing solving that problem that you had wrote down on the board.
Okay, just chime back in when you're done.
Yes, ma'am.
While we're here, anybody else have any other questions? Everybody good? Anybody go outside? It's super hot out. It's like my favorite. I love to be hot. That's why I moved down here. I know one day, once I get really used to the weather, I'll be like, oh, it's so hot. So my rule is go outside when it's not summer, and the summer stay inside and go out at night. There you go. That's my rule. Hey, while you're doing that, I am going to go back. We have one more property to do too, and I'm sure you've seen it before. I'll say it's associated property addition. It's the one with parentheses. Remember the parentheses thing with adding? If not, you're gonna know in a second.
I got it all.
Got all? Good. I was gonna say, I gotta move on. Good, perfect. Okay, so awesome. Okay, so this one is another property of addition. It's called the associative property of addition. Hey guys, make sure you stay on the screen. That's how a couple of you like put your cameras off. Make sure you stay on the screen. Okay. Changing the grouping. That's where parentheses come in. Changing the grouping of add-ins. They're the things that you're adding. Does not change their sum. Okay, so this one has the parentheses. So let's say you get a problem that says 2 plus 6 plus 4. And then it's the same thing as saying 2 plus 6 plus 4. It's the same answer. It doesn't matter where I grouped it, whether I group 2 and 6 together or whether I group 6 and 4 together. It's the same answer. And I'll show you, I'll do it right underneath. So 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 4 is 12. And I'll do this one over here. I'll group that one. 2 plus 10, sorry, is still equal to 12. But it doesn't matter the order, it's going to give you the same answer. Now, this is adding. That is not true for subtracting. This is just for adding right now. When we get to order of operations, you're going to see a lot of parentheses where we can change the order. This is just to start to get you ready for that when we get there. And we're going to move to subtracting whole numbers next. I see people writing, so I'm sort of waiting for a little bit. Make sure everybody has it written down. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's do subtracting. If you notice, we're talking about whole numbers today. Eventually, we're going to get to fractions and decimals. Same rules apply. Just it's much easier to start with whole numbers and work our way into fractions and decimals. Okay, subtraction and addition are very related. I'll say closely related. In fact, subtraction can be rewritten. I'm going to say and checked. This is how you check your answer too, by going backwards. I said call it backwards. By using addition. I'll show you too when we get to some problems, but for example, say you subtract 14 minus 6 and you say it's 8. If you really want to check it, go backwards, do 8 plus 6 and add that in your mind, and you'll see that you were right. So they are related to each other. You can check that by going backwards. So any subtraction, you can check by going backwards with addition. 22 minus 12 is 10, but how can I check it? I can do 12 plus 10 and realize I am right because that is 22. So when you do subtraction, because subtraction is a little more trickier than addition, because we're going to have to borrow, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I always still check it by going backwards and adding them. And when we do subtraction here, I'm going to show you how to check them. I'll show you how I do them. The first couple problems I'm going to do not have borrowing, and then we're going to look at borrowing. But I want to do a couple of basic problems first, just to show you, and then we're good to go. Okay, so got a page. Okay, nope, wrong one. Won't let me add a page. Come on, add a page. Oh, here it is. It's over here. Add a page. Wrong spot. Okay, so we're going to subtract. So subtract. Number 1, 5,642 minus 2,431. Okay, so we're going to go down each column and subtract. So 2, I'm going to sort of like, let me change my color for a minute, just so I can show you what I'm doing. 2 minus 1 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. Don't put the dots in there. That's just so I can show you what I'm doing. 6 minus 4 is 2. And 5 minus 2 is 3. So the answer would be 3,211. Let me get rid of my dots. Now, let's say, I don't know, did I do that right? Well, we're going to check it by adding. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2,431 and we're going to add it to 3,211. And when we do that, we should get, well, hopefully 5,642. So we're going to go like backwards. So we're going to take 3,211, which was our answer. We're going to add it to what we subtracted. And at the end, we need to make sure we got 5,642. Okay, so if I add 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 3 is 4, 2 plus 4 is 6, 3 plus 2 is 5. And now I can feel confident I did it right because I got the same answer that I was subtracting from. So a very, very, very good habit to always check your subtracting by going backwards and adding. Hey, before I do the next one, if there's any questions, chime in. and I'll answer any question you got. Good, okay, 2. 9,143, subtract 122. Again, I like never leave it that way, and I'm gonna write it vertically. Vertically, this is what I call vertically when you're up and down. So 9,143 minus, make sure you line up those numbers under where they belong. The one thing that really can mess you up is if you line them up in the wrong, and then you're adding and subtracting the wrong numbers. So always make sure you do very neat and do very right on top of each other. Okay, so we're gonna subtract from right to left. So 3 minus 2 is 1. 4 plus 2 is 6. 1 plus 1 is 2. And 9 doesn't have anything under it, so I'm gonna bring it down. And then my answer was 9,000.
Hey, Miss
Whoa,
Garrett.
whoa, yeah, I'm adding, right?
I was just about to say you made a mistake.
Yeah, I just realized I started subtracting and adding. Thank you very much. I'm like, wait, that's not right. Okay, 3, I started adding. 3 minus 2 is 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. And 9 just shows you if you're not concentrating all the way, even I like, whew, I was looking at my notes and I started adding.
You're just making sure we were paying attention, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just checking you guys out. That's it. And yes, please listen. I'm human. I can make mistakes. It's really easy. Chime in and tell me. I'm not embarrassed at all. Hey, Miss Garrett, you messed up. That's fine. Do it.
You was just about to check it. That's why I was like, see, you meant to.
I'm making sure you guys are paying attention. And you were, yay. Okay, now, so don't forget, now we're gonna check it. We're gonna go backwards. So I take the answer, 9,021, and I add 122. So I'm gonna add down, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 2 is 4, 0 plus 1 is 1, and 9 will come down, and look, yay, I got what I started with. I could pretty much be really confident I'm right. So when you guys take like your tests and quizzes, I mean homework too, but when you take your tests and quizzes, I would so be doing this for all my subtraction problems, checking every single answer. Okay, so that was just subtracting. We had no borrowing, and you guys know what I mean by borrowing, right? If you can't subtract, you have to borrow from the one before. So that's what we're going to do now. So don't let me go too far. If you have any questions, make sure you ask me, because borrowing is really important. It's also really easy to mess up. Okay, so is it all right to move on? Everybody good? Yeah? Awesome. Okay. I did it again, wrong one. Okay, so let's do this. Let's subtract problems that need borrowing. Borrowing basically means taking from another to use for the one you're doing. So the first one, real small. Wait, what number are we on? 3. 43 minus 29. Now, we cannot take 9 away from 3. 3 is smaller. We can't subtract that. So what we have to do is borrow from the one before. What do I mean by that? We borrow from the 4. and we're gonna make it a 3. And by doing that, since this is the 10th spot, we can add 10 to the 3 and make it a 13. So we borrow from the 4, so we're taking 10 away from, instead of 43, we're making it 33. We're taking 10 away from the 4, and we're adding 10 to the back. Why? Because now I can subtract 9 and 4. Sorry, 9 and 4. The answer is 4. 13 minus 9 is 4. And then 3 minus 2 is 1. And again, we're going to check it. I'm going to take 29 and add 14. Now notice I put a 29 on top because it's bigger. I like the number bigger on top. It doesn't matter any order you want. 9 plus 4 is 13. 2, 3, 4. I got my 43. So I know I am good to go. I'm going to try to make them a little more
a little challenging, but not too hard.
Yeah, it's a little challenging, but not too hard. So basically, once you get used to it, you're taking 1 away from the number before, and you're adding 10 to the number you had. So you take 1 away from the number before, and you add 10 to the number behind. So we're gonna do a whole bunch more. So that's right. Hang in there. I have 4. We're gonna do this one's pretty good. I'm gonna wait for that one. Okay, 248 minus 69. Okay, sometimes you have to borrow a lot. This particular one, we're gonna borrow more than once. Can I take 9 away from 8? Can I do 8 minus 9? No. The number on top has to be bigger. So I need to borrow from the 4. So I make the 4, actually, let me do it in color so it stands out. So make the 4 a 3. That means I'm gonna add 10 to 18 and 10 to 8 and make it 18. So you borrow from the one before, you add 10 to the one after. Borrow from the one before, add 10 to the one after. Now I can subtract 18 minus 9 is 9. Good. But now we're stuck again. Can I take 6 away from 3? Can I do 3 minus 6? No. The number on the top needs to be bigger. So I'm going to borrow again. So I'm going to take 1 away from the 2. There's 1 left. And I'm going to make that 3. I'm going to add 10 to the 3, 13. When I subtract, 13 minus 6 is 7. And now I only have a 1 left here. So I bring the 1 down. That's all I have left. And I have 179. So, let's see. I'm going to write down what we're doing. Take 1 away from their number before, add 10 to current number. So we're taking 1 away from the number before and adding 10 to the current number. That's what you do each time. Take 1 away from the number before, add 10 to the number that you're working on. And if you haven't done this in a while, this is like, I know, quite challenging, but you'll get it. It just takes practice. Any questions? Okay, I'm gonna do a smaller one, but I'm gonna show you a crazy one. Okay, so I want 1,243 minus 825. And again, especially subtracting, make sure they're all lined up very neatly so you can follow it. Okay, so all the way to the right, I have 3 minus 5. Can't happen. I can't take 5 things away from 3. Not going to happen. So I have to borrow. So I'm going to take 1 from the 4 and make it a 3. And if you're all right with this, I can put a 1 in front and make it 13. But you know what? I don't like it. Never mind. I'm just going to go like this. Nope. 13. So I took 1 away from 4 and I added 10 to the 3. Why? Because now I can subtract. 13 is bigger than 5. I can subtract 13 and 5. 13 minus 5 is 8. And now look, the second number, we're fine because there's a 3 and a 2. I can do 3 minus 2. That's 1. But now our third number is 2 and 8. We can't take 8 away from 2, but I can borrow. So I could take 1 away from the number before, which makes that a 0. And I'm going to make, whoops, I meant to do blue so you can see it. Make that a 0. And this is going to become, I'm going to add 10 to 2 and make 12. And now I could take 8 away from 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. I neglected to check number 4. We're going to check number 5. So I'm going to take 825 and I'm going to add 418 and hopefully I get 1,243. So 8 plus 5 is 13. 2 plus 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. And 8 plus 4 is 12. And I got exactly what I started with. So what's nice about subtracting is you can check it. So if let's say you don't match what you started with, then you made an error. So you need to go back and see if you can find your error.
Hey, Miss Garrett, even
Yeah.
though you neglected number 4, I went back and checked it and you got it right.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I did neglect it. Went right past it. And I'm glad you checked it. That's perfect. Ready to see a crazy one? This one I'm going to do now is probably the hardest ones you're going to do because it's all zeros on top, basically. Okay, so we're going to do. No, hold on. We're going to do 10,000 minus 999. Now, you might be able to figure this out without doing the subtraction, but we're going to pretend we don't know how to do it. We're going to subtract. Okay, so since we have all these zeros, we can't subtract anything, like nothing, because 9, you can't take 9 from 0. So we have to go all the way back. There's nothing we can't borrow here. We can't borrow here. We can't borrow here. We can't borrow here. We can borrow here. So we're going to start borrowing where the 1 is. Whoops. Okay, here we go. So I can take 1 away from the 1 and make it a 0, which means this becomes 10. Again, same procedure. You take 1 to 1 from the way before and you add 10. But I need to get all the way down to here. So I'm going to take 1 away from 10 and make it 9. And I'm going to make this one 10. So I took 1 from the one before and I added 10. But I got to keep going until I get to the end. So again, I'm going to take 1 away from 10 and make it a 9. And I'm going to make this one a 10 because I added 10. And I have one more to do. I take 1 away from 10, make it a 9, and I make this one a 10. And now I can finally subtract. So 10 minus 9 is 1. Now remember, we have a 9 up here. So 9 minus 9 is 0. A 9 again, 9 minus 9 is 0. We have a 9 here too, but I have nothing to subtract from, so the 9 comes down. And 0 is here, so my answer must be 9,000. And I'm totally going to check this answer. So we have 9,001 plus 999. So let's see, 9 plus 1 is 10, carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10. And thank goodness we actually got the right answer back. So you see, you had to borrow all the way from the beginning. So you borrow all the way through. But again, it's the same thing every time. You take 1 away and add 10 to the one before. Take 1 away, add 10 to the one before, all the way through. Any questions? Well, I got like 5 things in chat. Hold on. Oh, okay. You guys are good. Good. Everything is frozen. Angel, you're having a hard time today, huh? All right, no questions. We're going to, I'm gonna add a page. I'm gonna do a few more. I'm not gonna have you try a couple.
Miss Garrett, I just put a question in the chat. I don't know if you've seen it.
What's up? Oh, chat. No, I'm not really paying attention to chat. I just want you guys to ask. Why couldn't you? Okay. Why could, okay. Ask me. I'm not sure what you mean. Why couldn't you do what the other way to subtract?
The way that you had,
Let me go back. This one. Go ahead.
the way that you subtracted, why didn't you start from like the other end instead of like taking the one and making it into a 0?
Because you can't subtract 0 from 9 all the way down. So you have to subtract, like I can't subtract these. I can't take 9 from 0. So I needed to get a number there. I can't borrow from 0. Here, let me try it. Let me try it again. Let me just start showing you. It's a good question. Okay, I need to make this agree. We can't subtract that, right? Can't take 0. Can't take 9 from 0. So if I try to borrow from this, it's already 0. I have nothing to borrow. If I try to borrow from this, it's already 0. There's nothing to borrow. And if I try to borrow from this, it's already 0. I can't borrow anything. So the first one I can borrow from is this one and make this 0 and make that a 10 and keep going that way. That makes sense? Yeah, because they're all zeros. That's the problem. Good question. I love questions. Anybody need us up longer? You guys seem to be doing pretty good. Awesome. Okay, so now let's do. What number am I on? Am I 5, 6? I forget. Hold on. I should have looked. 6. Okay, so 7. I was wrong. 7. By the way, I put lines through my 7s because my students throughout the years would say, Mrs. Garrett, is that a 1 or a 7? So I put a line through my 7 so you know it's a 7. Just so you know, because sometimes I get a little sloppy and it looks like a 1, and that's what I do. Okay, so let's look at this problem. 122,143 minus 8,827. Now you see how mine aren't lined up that great? So I'm gonna rewrite that. I didn't like how, you really gotta make sure they're lined up because you can really mess it up. 8 under the 1, 2 is under the 4, and 7 is under the 3. There, much better. Okay, so look at the first one here. I cannot take 7 from 3, so I know I have to borrow. So what am I gonna borrow? I'm gonna borrow from the one before, which I can because there's 4 of them. So I'm gonna take 1 away and make that a 3. And I'm gonna add 10 to the 3 and make that a 13. And now I can subtract. 13 minus 7 is 6. And then look, the next one I could do too. 3 minus 2 is 1. Awesome. All right, so we go to the third set of numbers and we have a problem because we have 1 on top and an 8 on the bottom, and I can't take 8 things away from 1. So I have to borrow again. So I borrow from the one before. So I'm going to make this a 1 because I can borrow it. And I'm going to add 10 to 1 and make that 11. And now I can add that. I subtract that. 11 minus 8 is 3. And then I go to the 1 and 8, and I can't take 8 over things away from 1. So I'm going to borrow again. So I'm going to take 1 away from the 2 before and make that a 1. And I'm going to make this one an 11. So 11 minus 8 is 3 again. 1 is left here, and 1 is left here. And I have, my answer is 113,316. Okay, so let's make sure we're right. And we're going to add them. So this is our check. 7 plus 6 is 13. Carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. 8 plus 3 is 11. Carry the 1. 8 plus 3 is 11. Plus 1 is 12. 1 plus 1 is 2. And bring down the 1. And did we match it? Yay! I know we did good. We got the answer. Okay, ready to try one? I actually have 2. I have 2. Okay, I'll give you one first. And not so hard one, the easier one, although these are hard, period. Okay, 8. This is for you.
Those second two, for number 7 looks like a 3.
Okay. Oh, it's a comma. Yeah, it's my comma. That better? Yeah. Did look like a 3. It's a comma. Okay, so I want you guys to subtract 248 minus 69. Give that a try. Okay, I'm gonna start doing it. Don't look unless you're done. Did you check your answer? If you're done, check your answer. Whoop.
Hello.
Hey, who wants me?
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure you hear me. I'm
Okay.
Gloria.
Gloria, hi,
I'm doing fine. I'm just trying to work this computer. I'm not used to doing it.
Got it.
I want to make sure you hear me.
Okay, I see, I hear you, you're good.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do this. 3, 18, 9, 1, 13, 7. And that was the answer, and that's a check. How'd you do? Good? Awesome.
Good.
Good. And can you turn your microphone off too, if you don't mind? Whew, okay, I got one more for you. I'm gonna go to the next page though.